As the coronavirus continues to surge in the U.S., the holiday season is adding pressure to retailers and shippers. With Americans shopping online more than ever before, shippers are strained by the demand, leaving many wondering if their items will be delivered in time. According to the New York Times, an estimated 3 billion packages will cross the nation's shipping infrastructure. That's approximately 800 million more than delivered last year. And with that many packages in transit, some people may not see their Christmas presents under their tree in time. New York Times business reporter Sapna Maheshwari is joining us now to talk more about this. So I got to tell you, Sapna, I was feeling so good about myself because for the first time ever, I was actually buying Christmas presents early. I never do. I'm like a last weeker. And then I read your article, and now I'm freaking out a little bit about whether things are going to actually get to their destinations. Just break down what's happening in the e-commerce world right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we're all just seeing it, like what you described, the huge rush with packages. If you've gone to a lot of different e-commerce websites this week, you've seen messages to order by December 4th or December 10th, really early deadlines that we haven't seen in the past. And what we're hearing again and again from people is that these systems have been running at what the industry calls peak for holiday season. It's been running at this level essentially since March, and now we're in the holidays, and it's like triple the level they've seen in the past.
That's remarkable. And you're reporting, you say FedEx and UPS have leverage. Why is that, and how might this impact retailers?
So it became very clear talking to retailers that FedEx and UPS have all of the power in many of these relationships. And so what's happening, for example, one retailer I talked to that sells apparel and clothes, they were scared to even talk on the record because of their negotiations with UPS and their fear that they could somehow get dinged with higher rates or even pushed off. But what they were told was they could only mail the same amount of packages that they mailed last year. So even though way more people are shopping online, they're limited to, let's say, 1,000 packages a day. If they go over that on Monday, those extra packages move into Tuesday. And you can see how this would have a snowball effect over the course of the holiday season. And they're also grappling with the fact that they each have, FedEx and UPS, holiday surcharges. So what this retailer told me was that can add several dollars per package. And they were looking at costs of 25 to 40 million in packaging alone this holiday season. And that's in a tough retail environment.
So mega companies like Amazon have really adapted to the pandemic by adding more employees. They developed a whole sort of side hustle business for deliveries, and even building new facilities. So they invested a lot. For companies that have not been able to adapt in this way, though, how are they handling the surge in e-commerce?
So for those who have not been able to kind of add additional employees, I mean, you're seeing retailers also partner with Instacart. If you are a makeup buyer, you may have seen that Sephora will send you stuff through Instacart. You're seeing small businesses really ramp up and try and offer curbside shipping. I think it's been remarkable to see many of the small businesses across the U.S. figure out how to implement curbside pickup and shopping inside their stores, being very accommodating of orders. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's the worst possible timing for this coronavirus second surge to be occurring during this retail season, because this is an industry that's been badly battered this year, and they've all been largely looking to the fourth quarter to help regain the ground that they lost in the beginning of the year when stores were simply closed.
One of the things that I've noticed, I don't know if this has happened to you, Anne-Marie, or to you, Sapna, but it's interesting that now it appears that when I order things from Amazon, I live in New York City, and I live in an apartment building. It doesn't have an elevator to walk up. I'm on the 4th floor, but increasingly, packages are being left at my door, which has never happened before. And if it's not left at my door and it's left downstairs in the sort of landing area, I get a picture, which I've never seen that as something that Amazon has done. Like, I'll get an update to my email saying, hey, your package was delivered, and they actually take a picture of the package down in my lobby. Is that one of the ways that they're looking to ensure that people get their gifts on time? Because oftentimes, even before the holidays, a lot of packages go missing.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because it's one of these interesting side effects to this surge in package shipments that we're seeing. So one big issue is the theft of packages. And so what you're seeing is a way to help mitigate that. I think another side effect that we're going to see as a result of this season is madness around returns. And I think that I've talked to a lot of retailers and carriers that are preparing for basically this rush to continue in the weeks after Christmas and all the other holidays. And to deal with then, if you have this many packages, you're probably going to have X amount of returns. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out as well, especially because there's some other really important things that are going to be shipped through these carriers in coming months.
You bring me to my next question. The Pfizer vaccine. UPS is going to be working with FedEx to get the Pfizer vaccine shipped out. And then you just brought up the fact that there's going to be a ton of returns as well, because that's what happens after Christmas. Could we, these delays that we are anticipating, could we see them continuing into the new year? And how far into the new year?
Yeah, I think that the delays that we're seeing in terms of Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, I think people are already seeing that. I've talked to people who, are waiting for Black Friday packages. As we get closer to the day, that's only going to increase. Right now, for the holiday season, the vaccine distribution isn't being viewed as a big issue in terms of capacity. But you do have to wonder, this is going to be a very big deal in the first half of next year. So when it comes to returns and this or that, I do think that the carriers have looked into different ways to mitigate this. This year, UPS struck up a deal with CBS. FedEx works with Dollar General. And so they've created systems that rely on, some of the big chains in the country where you can drop packages off there and, again, basically try and mitigate this demand. But what we're seeing is, this is just a huge amount of strain on a system that has tried to accommodate for it. And you can't build this kind of thing overnight, no matter how many people, you try and hire, how much work is going into this. And we're seeing these UPS and FedEx drivers and delivery people look exhausted every day, and they know they're going to be exhausted for months to come. So I would say give a big smile to them when you see them.
Yeah, it's something, I saw
advice.
One of those delivery guys in my building yesterday, and I was just like, dude, thank you so much, because I know this is a tough time. And frankly, in New York City specifically, the only thing that's sort of kept us afloat is the ability to get food deliveries, to get package deliveries. In the really dark times when the pandemic was raging here in New York City, it was, grocery deliveries. And these folks were just, doing their jobs and not getting paid a lot of money, so I always tipped way past the 20%, just because you know that they're the only reason that you're able to get food or to get a package. So you're absolutely right, Sapna.
Great.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. This is really important reporting that you've done. We appreciate it.
Great, thanks for having me.